Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Got another name in the transfer portal for you guys to keep an eye on. Mitchell Agude, edge rusher from UCLA. Looking to be a super senior, so it's a one and done. It's a business trip, but we'll talk about it. We'll get into it. As always, do me a favor. Go ahead and smash that like button just below the video. Just press that little thumbs up. It's free. It's quick. It's easy. That's a way you can help the channel play that analytics game on YouTube. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. If you enjoy the content here, make sure you subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. But let's go ahead and jump right into it again. Sources say, look at they're not even sugarcoating it anymore. 24/7 Sports just flat out says it. Mitchell Agude leaving UCLA for NIL money. Like, it's not even sugarcoated. It is what it is. These guys are looking to get paid. They're looking to get that bag. And I don't know that I necessarily blame them in some situations. Says here, Mitchell Agude, the UCLA super senior to be defensive end, entered the transfer portal Wednesday in an effort to make money off of name, image, and likeness, according to sources. Isn't it kind of funny? This whole thing started, all of this NIL craziness started because of NCAA football. The name, image, likeness, right? They're used in the game. It's got their stats, their height, their weight, their hometown, their number. Same thing with jerseys. And it's gone from that to just giving kids cars, bags of cash, all kinds of credit. It's the Wild West. It's the Wild West. It is college football in 2022. Whether you like it or you hate it, it's here to stay, so you might as well just go ahead and accept it for what it is. The article goes on to say here, it was thought Agude would be a cornerstone of UCLA's defense in 2022. He announced in January he wouldn't submit his name to the NFL draft and would return to UCLA for his super senior year. But Agude changed course Wednesday, entering the transfer portal to pursue money, the money available to him, college NIL income. According to sources, Agude has been presented with potential NIL deals associated with 3 other programs, 2 in the Pac-12 and 1 on the East Coast. A source indicated that one potential NIL deal for Agude was worth $60,000. Now, I saw this name pop up on VolQuest. There's a poster over there, man. He follows every single name that enters the transfer portal. You know, I gauge it, try to decide whether or not we're going to make a video and talk about it. Austin Price comes in right behind him and says that Mitchell Agude is definitely a name to keep an eye on. So we'll see how it plays out, but it's interesting. You got Austin Price post of approval, and then you see here in the article that there are 3 teams interested, and only one of them is on the East Coast. So again, we talk about NIL. We talk about whether or not Tennessee is doing a good job. You see guys like Isaiah Nayer go elsewhere, and what happens? Immediately our fan base takes to Twitter, they take to Facebook, they take to the message boards and talk about how Tennessee does not have their ducks in a row when it comes to NIL. Switch gears, jump over to Jason Swain on the Swain Event, his daily show on YouTube, different other platforms, his radio show. He's talking about how Tennessee definitely has their ducks in a row, and not only that, he calls it a top 10 NIL program. But we're starting to see it now. And yes, Tennessee can't sign anybody, but read between the lines. Read between the lines here. Agude enters the portal looking to make NIL money. Who is in the mix? Tennessee's in the mix. Look at Cam Good. You know, the one I talked about yesterday, the Central Florida defensive lineman. NIL, that's what they're looking for, is NIL deals. You can say what you want about Nayer and not choosing Tennessee. There was more to it than an NIL package, but the guys behind the scenes, the guys in the know, said that Isaiah had an offer that Texas could not match. Tennessee put the money on the table. Isaiah, maybe Texas did just enough, considering all the circumstances. You know, it's still college football, and yes, NIL matters, and it's part of the game, but there is still more to it. Culture, winning championships, opportunities to play, being close to home, relationships. It's still a game about relationships. NIL is a factor in all of that, but there's always more to the story. Article goes on to say here it's undetermined if those programs contacted Agude before he entered the portal, but it's a gray area legal within the present feckless NCAA rules for third-party individuals to contact a player not in the portal and inform him that NIL money would be available at a certain program if he did, in fact, submit his name to the portal. That is very interesting. I don't think that I have ever seen that before. I thought it was illegal to contact any kid that was not in the portal unless you went through the back channel communications. You got a kid on your roster that's friends with a kid on the UCLA roster. You have them contact. I did not realize a third-party group like Spire Sports Group could contact players at other schools. And maybe, again, to go back to what Swain said, maybe that's why Swain is saying, sit tight, be patient, let's get through this scholarship reduction, let's get through spring practice, and let's get to the summer, and then you are going to see some legitimate playmakers on defense show up at Tennessee. Goes on to say we hadn't heard if any entities connected to UCLA have offered Agude NIL deals. The NCAA adopted a policy last summer that enabled student athletes to benefit from their name, image, likeness. Since then, it's been a bit of the Wild West with NIL deals in the millions being thrown at players from a range of different businesses. Incoming Texas quarterback prospect Quinn Ewers signed a deal worth $1.4 million over 3 years to provide autographs. Alabama quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young will earn over $1 million in NIL money. Every Texas scholarship offensive lineman will make $50,000 annually. See, I think that's a big one right there. That's a big one when you can say every offensive lineman on your team is going to make $50,000 annually. Sign me up to go play offensive line there. Sign me up to go to Texas. Guaranteed $50,000. Says one Texas backing organization, Clark Field Collective, announced $10 million in donor commitments. A Knoxville-based organization called Spire Sports established a collective to funnel NIL benefits in the form of cars, apartments, and six-figure packages for Tennessee football players. So if you are doubting Tennessee, if you're doubting Spire Sports Group, this is an article from 24/7 Sports. It's not like this is a VolQuest article or a Rocky Top Insider article. This is just an article about college football, and Tennessee is being mentioned with Texas and Alabama when it comes to big. They are rattling off the big-time NIL offers, and Tennessee is right in the mix. Guys, sit tight. I think it is going to be exciting. Let's talk a little bit about Mitchell Agude. This kid is an absolute game changer if he does decide to come to Tennessee. For the season, he had 55 tackles, 6.5 tackles per loss, and 4.5 sacks. But as the kid I talked about yesterday, something that sticks out, he also had 4 forced fumbles in 2021. Now, the interesting thing when you look at his numbers, pretty good numbers for a guy coming off the edge. But more importantly, he was banged up throughout the middle of the year. He was battling an injury. Once he was closer to 100%, last 3 to 4 games of the year, absolutely dominated. He had 27 tackles in the last 4 games of the year. So maybe that injury bug, what he battled throughout the middle of the season, is why when he submitted for his draft grade, he wasn't satisfied. Coming back for that super senior season, and again, I always said it about Caleb Tremblay when he came to Tennessee, when he left USC, he said he was coming to Knoxville, he was packing his bags, and it was a business trip. And he was going to play his way to the NFL. Mitchell Agude can do the same thing under Rodney Garner. So pack your bags. Let's get to the East Coast. Let's sign that NIL deal with Spire Sports Group, and let's make it happen. You guys know what to do. Hit that comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Really on Mitchell Agude, but also are your eyes opening? Are you starting to get a little excited about what Spire Sports Group is doing down there in Knoxville? Because the more I look at it, the more we see names, it seems like Tennessee is on the right path. If we don't see transfers throughout the summer, then maybe at that point I'll start to get a little nervous. So hit that comment section. Let me know how you think Tennessee is actually doing in the NIL game. If you have not done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, check out the official merchandise of the Talkin Vols Network. Just go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin Vols. Any and all support greatly appreciated. And also just want to send out a big thank you to everybody that hung out last night again on the NCAA 2013 streams. Having a blast, man. Just an absolute blast playing that game with you guys. Fun time had by all. If you missed it, go check it out. If not, join us Thursday, 6:15. Also, this Sunday, myself and the Itty Kid will be live immediately following the baseball game. But that's going to do it for this one. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.